Legends never die.
Hello, welcome to another video, and today we're going to be discussing about 5 USMNT Gold Cup players your club should buy. This is based on the performance and not their club form, but on their performance. This would be based on performance, and I watched the entire games of the USMNT during the Gold Cup, so let's begin. We will first be beginning with notable mentions. We have Shaquille Moore and Daryl DK. Shaquille Moore is a player at Tenerife, and he's a right back. He's 24 years old. He performed admirably during this Gold Cup run, and he showed amazing offensive talent. He showed amazing dribbling. He needs a little bit more work on his crossing, but I think if all he needs to work on is his crossing, honestly, because during defensively he had some errors, but honestly he covered it up very decently when defending. He showed some decent tackling. He showed some decent tackles, and he was a pretty decent player when it comes to defending. But when it comes to being attacking, he was a monster on that end. Now let's go to Daryl DK, the 21-year-old from Orlando City. He's a striker. He didn't perform too good during this Gold Cup, but I think his game against Martinique is good enough to show why any club should want to buy him. Honestly, he dominates defenders. He knows how to hold on to the ball very good. He's very good when it comes to aerial duels. But my only knock on him is his technique. His technique has let him down during this run, and honestly, if he works on technique and how to position himself better for goals, I think he will be a better option to have for any club that wants a striker this summer. Shaquille Moore, I think he should be going to a Portuguese club or a club in the Spanish league to show his offensive talents, and I think any club could afford him, and if they could, I think he's a player that you should not pass on. Daryl DK, I think he should be a player who should try to go to a championship club in order to advance his technique, or can go to the Eredivisie or Bundesliga leagues that can produce amazing young players. So now let's go to the 5 players your club should buy. So Matt Turner, we're going to be starting off with Matt Turner. He's a player at New England Revolution. He's a goalkeeper. He's 27 years old. Somewhat young for a goalkeeper. Matt Turner is a very, 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 very good goalkeeper. He's amazing. He's amazing at shot stopping. I think he's even better than even Horvath and Zach Steffen when it comes to shot stopping. But when it is with playing with his feet, I think he is. That's my only knock with him. Honestly, my only negative opinion about him. I think if he plays better with his feet, I think he'll be a complete goalkeeper. He should try to leave New England Revolution this summer in order to find a club in Europe. I would suggest for Matt Turner to try to go to the championship, or maybe try to go to a club in the in Eredivisie. I think a club there would be perfect for him. But I think he should be going to a club in the championship in order to test out his skills there. So now let's go to the second player. So second player on this is James Sands. He's a center back and defensive midfielder, and he is a 21-year-old at New York City FC. He showed amazing passing ability. He showed some crucial interceptions. I think those are his 2 greatest assets when it comes to his game. But for me, my only negative opinion about him is how he plays in a back 4 system as a center back. I think he is not used to playing in a back 4 as a center back, but if he gets used to the position more, I think he'll be getting better at it, and I think he'll be showing better concentration when it comes to being a center back. He plays best as a defensive midfielder or as a center back in a back three system, and he shows a very good passing ability and has the awareness to get the interceptions needed. I think James Sands should be trying to land at a club in the Bundesliga or in the Eredivisie or Belgium leagues. I would suggest it would be even better if he can go to the Bundesliga. Honestly, I think he has the talent to go to a Bundesliga club, so he can later on try to maybe join a Premier League club. I think he has the potential to be a very good player in the future. So hopefully, we'll get to see James Sands try to go to Europe this summer. So now let's go to the third player. So the third player on this list is Miles Robinson. 24-year-old from Atlanta United. His position is the center back position. He has a brother, Anthony Robinson, who plays in the Championship with Fulham. But Miles Robinson, for me, he showed very good tackling during the tournament, and he showed very good aerial dominance. Probably not as good as a player like Walker Zimmerman, but he did show some. He showed some decent passing, but if his passing can get better, I think that'll be making him a complete player. I think Miles Robinson should be trying to go to a club in the Championship, or probably try to go to a club in, like, let's say in France. He has the talent to do so, and I think if he stays committed to the game, I think he'll be a very good player one day. I think he would be a Premier League player. Even as a Premier League player, I think he can be decent over there. But he needs to improve a little bit on his passing. But he shows some pretty good passing ability too. So yeah, now let's go to the fourth player. So the fourth player is Gianluca Bussio. For me on this entire list, I think he's the player with the biggest ceiling, except for the last player. Gianluca Bussio, honestly, is a 19-year-old. He plays at Sporting Kansas City, and he's a central midfielder. He can play the 6, he can play the 10, he can play the 8. I've seen him play best as a 6, especially because he gets the ball on his feet more. But I think if he should go to Europe in order so he can realize what his best position is, Gianluca Bussio should try to go to Italy. He has been linked to move to Italy a lot. He has been linked to a club in Serie B, who is a pretty decent club over there. I think that would be a very good move for him. Gianluca Bussio possesses great vision for key passes. He possesses great dribbling, and he possesses great set piece ability. I think his set pieces during the Gold Cup were a little questionable, but I think in Europe he'll learn how to do better set pieces, especially when it comes to corner kicks. Gianluca Bussio, I think he needs a lot of work to do when it comes to defensively. I think he should when he goes to Europe, I think he will increase his awareness when it comes to defending, and I think he move to the Serie B league to Italian leagues where they play defensive football. I think that'll help him, especially with his awareness, and I think he'll be a very good player one day. So now let's go to the last player. So the last player is pretty, and it's Matthew Hoppe. He's the Schalke striker. He's 20 years old. Honestly, he showed very good dribbling ability during the Gold Cup. He even showed some abilities I didn't think he can do. He had a very good cross to Daryl DK for a goal against Martinique. He showed very good shooting. I think he played mostly as a left winger because Greg is a fucking idiot still. But I think if Matthew Hoppe plays as a striker, he'll be playing way better. I think Matthew Hoppe shows very good aerial dominance, especially. Matthew Hoppe showed very good dribbling, as I once mentioned. I think his only weakness is his awareness when it comes to defending. But that was mainly due to his playing as a left winger. But he knows how to get into positions. But I think he's still a pretty raw talent. So I think he should spend some extra time in the Bundesliga too with Schalke. But I think his destinations are in the Premier League, Championship, or in the Bundesliga. I think he's nearly to being a complete player, but I think he needs to play with a good team in order to get his confidence back, in order so he can score some goals, because I think he has the potential to be a great goal scorer one day. So, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.